Welcome, welcome everyone. So listen, we're going to have some fun. So what you need to know, first, a little housekeeping rule. I am on two devices. I'm on my phone for audio and I'm on my laptop for video and to share my screen. I blew out my speakers. I was having too much fun. I thought I was a DJ and played my music too loud and blew my speakers out. So I have two situations going on, okay? So if someone in my life calls me and my audio goes out, no worries, I will be back there, or I can always turn my audio on here. All right. Second thing you need to know is if you have a pen or paper, you might want to grab that because this is going to be a dialogue, a conversation. We're going to go over some things. I'm going to ask you to jot down your thoughts, your questions, your, oh my God, is she crazy? All of that, right? Jot all that down. And then at the end, we're going to create something together. All right. So that being said, oh, and the other thing you need to know about me, I don't do anything, and I mean nothing. And I mean that double negative. I don't do nothing if it ain't fun. Okay. So I make it fun. All right. I make it fun. I make it pleasurable. I make it fun. I don't care what it is. So if you're not into that kind of thing, then you might want to, go on down there and hit that little breakout room situation and slide someplace else. Because in here, we're about to have some fun. All right. Okay. Now, let me go on and share my screen and get my situation all together here. Okie dokie. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. All right. Thanks, Stephen. All right. Well, we're going to rock and roll and have ourselves a ball. All right. So welcome to Meet Me at the Corner. And you got to say it like that. Okay. You'll learn more about me and why you got to say it like that. All right. But let's just get to who I am. So I am Karima Akila. I am originally from Philly. And so growing up, when you were wanting to play with someone, you would ride your bike to their house and run up to the screen door and rap on the screen door. And then, usually get somebody's mama. And you would ask if such and such can come out to play. And, she would decide if they did enough dishes or whatever. And then they would say, I need 10 more minutes. And then you would yell, meet me at the corner. Right. And so you got to do all that. You got to put your hand to your mouth, put your head back, and you got to yell like you're yelling up the street. Right. So that's what this conversation is. We are going to meet at the corner of Web3 Boulevard and Unschooling Avenue. So who am I and why on earth do I even care about this? And why should you? And why am I having this conversation? So I am a former public school teacher turned homeschooling mom. I have 6 kids. I've graduated 3 of them so far. Actually, that's not true. Wait a minute. The 4th one is about to graduate like any second. Oh, I need to update that. Yeah, so about to be 4, graduated, which leaves me my 2 youngest. My kids are 24 down to 12. I ain't got enough coffee to rattle off all the numbers. I've been doing this now for 20 years. Can't even believe that, right? That feels like unnatural to be doing this for that long or for me to say that big number. And I've been unschooling for 10 of those years. What you should know about that is we did a really good job at first. I did a really good job of creating traditional school in my home, and then burnout and disengaged kids caused me to do something I said I would never do, which is to unschool. And so we began that deschooling process and that unschooling process, and we were living the dream until 2016 when my husband passed away from cancer. My youngest was only 5 years old. And so when he died, I said, oh, wait a minute. What happens now, right? What happens now? What if I have to go to work? What if I have to do whatever? How are we going to continue to homeschool or unschool? We were living in Pennsylvania, and they had some very persnickety rules about how many days you can drop off your kid with someone else, and they unschool them. So that is what led me to create the Genius School. The Genius School is an international network of micro self-directed learning communities. And we currently have a community meeting in the metaverse. Yes, and we have 2 schools in Kampala, Uganda. This coming fall, we will open doors in Philly, outside of DC, in Atlanta, and in San Francisco. And it is my passion to create freedom, liberation, and a learning community that works for everyone. So if you can stay at home with your kids, great. If you cannot, then come on, we have community for you. And then I did this real strange thing called creating a DAO. We're going to get into what that is today. And then I did this other crazy thing at the end of December. I think it was December 18th. I got the notion to write a book, but I heard that I needed to have the book complete by New Year's Eve. And so that's what I did. And so you will find more about that in the months to come. For the Fish at the Bottom of the Tree is the name of that book. So let's get into it. All right. So what is at the corner? What's at the corner? So the two corners, in case you forgot. Unschooling Avenue, right, where most of us are already there. Then the other corner, the other street is Web3 Boulevard. So what do you think is at the corner? What's over there? If you can squint, right, what's over there? So you can either unmute and tell me, or you can put it in the chat. And I see your question. Who's doing this in San Francisco? What is it? Adrian from Raising Ancestors is doing it in San Francisco. All right. So let's see. Melissa says, I have no clue. That's why I'm here. I have no clue what's over there. And I need you to tell me. That's why I'm here. Thank you, Melissa. All right. Anyone else? What do you think is over there? Young people making cool stuff and having fun. Absolutely. That is true. Yep. That's over there. Thank you, Damari. Anyone else? What do you think? Are you scared? You heard some crazy things about Web3. What is it? Anybody else?
Well, it's this world of influencers.
Say that one more time.
It's this world of influencers, content creators, right? A whole bunch of folks who really aren't necessarily tagged in any age or gender group, but they're catching on to the fact that they can monetize, which is the big driver, I think, the things that they are passionate about.
Got it. So there's a group of unschoolers influencers over there, content creators and folks that have figured out how to monetize their passions and whatnot. Yep, I have no idea what Web3 is. My curiosity brought me here. Wonderful. New ways to create community. Absolutely. Online micro schools. Okay. Yeah, that could be over there. Adults learning new skills online. Absolutely. You're looking at an adult right now learning new skills online. I missed the intro. Can you explain Web3? Well, guess what? We're still in the intro. The whole thing is an intro. So you didn't miss it. We're going to go into what is Web3 in just a second. So if you have a pen and paper nearby, great. If not, go ahead and grab one. And we're going to learn together what is Web3. First, let's start with the avenue that we already know. We already know Unschooling Avenue, right? What's over here where we are? Decolonized parenting, deschooling, self-directed learning, community. And I'm sure there's some other words that I can put there. But for the most part, most of us are squarely fully understand what's over here because we live on Unschooling Avenue. Now, you already told me what you think is across the street. But before we cross the street, just to make sure that you feel nice and comfortable, in 1996, I failed a college course. Can anybody guess what that course was in? And if you heard this story before, don't know, let someone else take a turn. Take a guess. What do you think I failed? And put it in the chat or unmute. I failed a whole college course. What do you think it was?
On education.
Close. I was an elementary education major, and this was a course inside of my education courses. Okay, computer programming, computer science. All right. You're kind of getting in the world of it. So in 1996, y'all, I failed a whole entire course on sending electronic mail. I had to take a course on sending electronic mail. And I said to myself, no, who is ever going to need this? Who's ever going to need this? Right?
They taught a course in it? What?
They did. It was called Technology in Education, right? That was the name of the course. And I remember thinking, okay, technology and education. Guess what I thought technology and education was? I thought it was the overhead projector. And I'm not talking about one of these smart boards. I'm talking about the old situation, you know what I'm saying, with the transparency paper and you have projector on. I thought that was what they were saying. So I go to class and the professor is like, you know, you have to, you know, have your, back then it was dial up, right? And he was trying to show me how to send an email. But guess what my thought process was? I said, if I needed to write a letter to somebody, I'm gonna get a piece of paper. I'm gonna get my pen. I'm gonna write down what I need to say. I'm gonna fold that bad boy up. I'm gonna find an envelope that fits, right? Because you know you gotta do that. That's the thing. Fold it up real good so it fits in that envelope. Then what did you need to do, right? You need to lick the back of that envelope, right? Don't cut your tongue. Then what else do you need to do after that? Then you need to get yourself some stamps. And if you were a big ball and shot calling, that meant that you bought a book of stamps. You had to get in your car or walk to the store, right? Or the post office and get a stamp. Then you had to lick the stamp, put it on the envelope, right? Write your name, write your address, the person you sent it to. Then you had to walk to the blue mailbox on the corner, right? Walk to the mailbox on the corner, pull down the handle, drop it in there, close it up, check it, make sure it went down there, right? And then you waited. You waited. Maybe a week, two, you know what I'm saying? You didn't care about that. You waited. And I thought to myself, whoever is going to need email. So if you are here and if you are like Web3, what? AI, huh? NF who? Block what? Where's the metaverse? How do you get there and how do you get out? Who's ever going to need that? You are in the right place because that was me back then. All right, let me check the chat real quick. And all right, gotcha. So, are you ready? You ready to cross the street? You sure? All right, look both ways. Hold hands. Wait for the green light. All right, here we go. Let's cross the street. Okay, so what is on Web3 Boulevard? These are the things that are on Web3 Boulevard. These are the people in your neighborhood. Decentralization, blockchain, smart contracts, DAOs, NFTs, metaverse, tokenomics, DeFi, which stands for decentralized finance, crypto. All right, everybody okay so far? Everybody all right so far? All right, these are the people who live here. You don't know if you're ready. Come on, you'll be all right. Come on. That's right. Hold our hand. We're going to do it together. We're going to go nice and slow. Okay, nice and slow. Because the residents over here are actually quite friendly. They really are. They're really quite friendly. So let's take it one step at a time. Now, as we explain what these things are, we're going to ask a Web3 resident to help us. We're going to, because they're very friendly. We're going to ask someone who lives on Web3 Boulevard, can you please explain what these things are? Come here, Chat GPT. Come on. Come here and help me out. Chitty, chitty, chat, Chat GPT. Come on. Pronouns, they, them. All right. So Chat GPT is going to help us figure out what in the world, who lives on your street? Chat GPT. All right. So here we are. All right. If you have your pen and paper nearby, this is what I want you to do. I want you to listen first to the definition, right? Because you're listening for the folks who live on the other side of the street. And then I want you to see, where do you have something like that? Where do we have something like that over here on Unschooling Avenue? All right, so you're going to lean in, you're going to squint if you have to, try and figure out what they're doing over there on Web3 Boulevard. And then you're going to look around and say, now, wait a minute, we might have something similar over here on Unschooling Avenue. And I want you to think about and write down how the two can go together. So we're actually going to create use cases. All right, you ready? Okay, here we go. Chat GPT, I have a nickname for chat. It's called, their name is called Chitty Chitty Chat GPT. Chitty Chitty Chat. Chitty Chitty Chat GPT. I asked them, I said, what is decentralization? And they said, Web3 is built upon decentralized technologies, such as blockchain, which means that there is no one central authority controlling it. There is no one central authority controlling it. Do we have anything like that? Look around. Anything like that on Unschooling Avenue? No one central authority controlling it. Now, a little bit of a history lesson. If you do a little history on Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, back in '96, when I was failing that class on sending an email, right? That was like the beginning. That was Web 1. Web 1 back then, the internet was read only, right? This is before Mark figured out, what to do with the Book of Faces, before we had that, right? Before we had, the posts of the Instagram, before there was the tick of the talk, you had dial-up. All right. Anybody old enough to remember that situation? Let me see your faces. All right. Okay. All right. Come on. Let me know that I'm not here by myself now. Okay. Let me know I'm not here by myself. Right. So you had to plug that situation out. Right. And yeah, right. You had all that going on. Right. Y'all remember that, right? And it was read only. That was it. Then some people said, you know what? I think that we can take read only and turn it into something that allows us to connect better. Then you had the onset of social media. That was Web 2, right? You have these big, huge entities, Facebook and whatnot, and TikTok, and what was that one before that? Snapchat and all of that. That was Web 2. But you don't own anything on Web 2. When you post something on Facebook, it's not yours. If Mark decides to take his toy and go play with someone else, there goes everything that you have ever posted on Facebook is gone, because you don't own it. Web 3 allows you to own what is your content. All right, so now let's talk a little bit more. Let's go back to Kitty Chat GPT, and let's ask the next question. So now, what is blockchain and smart contracts? So first of all, did you write down something for decentralization? Okay, did you write down how that might correlate with us over here on Unschooling Avenue? Did you write that down? Okay, here we go. Write down blockchain/smart contracts. Listen to what it is and figure out if we have something similar, or how could we use it. All right, ready? So blockchain is a digital technology that is used to record and store information in a secure and decentralized way. It is a type of distributed ledger. The main words with blockchain are immutable. Immutable. Once you put something on chain, everybody can see that you put it on chain, and you can't go back and erase it, nor can they say you didn't put it there without everyone seeing the change that was made. Then you have this thing called a smart contract. Smart contract's actually like my favorite thing to talk about. It's a computer program or a transaction protocol on blockchain that is intended to automatically execute, control, or document events and actions according to the terms of a contract or an agreement. I know it's a whole lot of words. What in the world does that mean? So you've heard of a if then that statements before, right? Okay, I see you nodding your head. Yep. If then that, right? My children wish that some of the things that, I've said that I would do, they wish that it was on a smart contract. Because, I've said things before, like, if you, finish, cleaning your room, then we can go to Chick-fil-A. And sometimes mom didn't follow through on that, right? Yeah. With the smart contract, there is no not following through, because it is written in code. Now, before you completely check out and say, I knew this talk wasn't for me. I'm not a developer. Neither am I. If you can create a social media profile, which I'm assuming most of us have, you too can program a smart contract. Because our friends over at Web3, they know that all of us are not developers, so they've made it easy for us, right? It's really simple. They have if, and then it's a blank, then, and it's a blank. So if you can fill in the blanks, you too can create yourself a smart contract. So just to review, blockchain, digital technology used to record and store information. What type of information might we as unschoolers want to record and store? How do you think we could use blockchain? So write down what you think, put down some notes, in a secure, decentralized way, right? And it's a ledger, meaning if someone can look at it and say, aha, I know that they did such and such because I see it here on this ledger. And then a smart contract, how could we utilize that? What would we tell the smart contract to do, right? That will be executed online. It's a virtual command. If then that happens. All right, I don't want to give it away. I want to give you a chance to create something. All right, everybody wrote down something? All right, let's ask Chitty Chitty Chat Chat. What on earth is a DAO? Chitty Chitty Chat Chat. Come here, Chitty Chitty Chat Chat GPT. What is a DAO? This is my other favorite thing to talk about. You'll notice I have a lot of favorite things to talk about in this conversation because my whole life is filled with all of my favorite things, right? You are my favorite people. This is my favorite time of day, whatever day time it is, whatever day it is my favorite. This is one of my favorite things to talk about, a DAO. A decentralized autonomous organization is what a DAO stands for, DAO. It is an internet native organization. That simply means that most of the meetings happen virtually online, that operates through smart contracts on a blockchain. So you just heard what a smart contract is, right? A if then that, if then that, and that the if then that sits on blockchain. So group of people from all around the world, we meet on Zoom, we meet in our metaverse, right? Group of people who make if then that decisions that are in a smart contract, and those if then that decisions rest on a blockchain, or the blockchain holds those decisions and will execute what the group of people have decided to, if we do that, then we do this. Put it plainly and listen to see, do we have anything that's similar to this over here? It's a group of people with a common goal, and they vote and make decisions, and those votes are documented on blockchain. But then they have this real cool thing. They have a shared treasury. That treasury happens to be in crypto, but it's a shared treasury. So a group of people with a common goal, they make decisions, they vote, right, on what it is that they think this community should do. Those votes, the decisions, the proposals that they make are if then that proposals and vote. And that is all documented on blockchain. And it's a smart contract will execute what should happen. Usually it is around what happens with our treasury. If this happens, then we're going to do that with our treasury. All right, so that's what that is. All right, now, did you anything, any kind of way we use this over here on Unknowingly Avenue? Don't tell me, just write it down. All right, Chitty Chitty Chat Chat GPT, what's next? Oh boy, NF what? NFTs? What in the world? NFTs are non-fungible. That's one of my favorite words. Non-fungible tokens. I love the word fungible because it has the word fun in it, right? And it sounds like it should be just something that is not. Non-fungible tokens. What is that? Well, they are digital assets that represent ownership, membership, or proof of authenticity. Let me say that again. It is a NFT. It stands for a non-fungible token. What is that? It is a digital asset. Stop right there. We're gonna look. You might be like I was back in 1996. Okay, so I'm gonna collect everybody all together. What on earth is a digital asset? Okay, pause a second. Catch up to that. Okay, we're gonna do this nice and slow, right? Because it took this. This is the one that tripped me up. I was like, oh, what? I was like, where are my digital assets? Do I have digital assets? And then my friend said, are you on your laptop? I said, yeah, I'm on my laptop. She said, go to your documents that you've saved on your laptop. All of those are your digital assets. I said, oh, how come they just say that? You know what I'm saying? Well, make it simple. So digital assets that represent ownership, membership, or proof of authenticity of a unique item. And these items could include, but are not limited to, digital art, music, videos, or other forms of creative content. Each NFT is one of a kind and cannot be exchanged for another NFT of equal value. It's one of a kind. All right, now think for a second. I'm gonna throw in one more thing here for NFTs. You see where it says represents membership or ownership? It can also be used to gatekeep. So we could say, you have to show me your NFT in order to come into this thing over here. in order to come into this talk. It's kind of like, it could be seen as like a ticket. That is one way that it can be used in Web3. Where do we use that in education? Maybe not specifically in unschooling and self-directed education, but education traditionally. Where is there some type of, I don't know, certificate that you have to have in order then to go to the next thing? Don't tell me, just write it down. We're all gonna come together at the end. All right, what's next? Chitty chitty chat chat, because you know these people have been taking notes. Chitty chitty chat chat GPT, and I got to get to the end of these definitions because I want to create something together. So the metaverse, where is it? What is it? What does Mark Zuckerberg own it only? Like what? How do I get there? How do I get out? What do I do when I'm there? Do I have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to put this headset contraption on? You know, my kids are gonna be knocking stuff out in the house. You know what I'm saying? Wearing this. I mean, what is it? So the metaverse is a term used to describe a virtual world or universe that is created by the convergence of multiple online platforms and technologies. It is a place where people can interact with each other in real time, experience virtual environments, and engage in a variety of activities such as, but not limited to, gaming, socializing, and oh my gosh, yes, learning. Now, let me help y'all out. The Genii community, the Genius School that meets in our metaverse, we are not all running around with the Oculus, the headset on, and we're not in a 3D metaverse. There is such a thing as a 3D metaverse. We are in a 2D metaverse. Let me take it a step further. Anybody ever heard of Roblox? Minecraft, Roblox, Minecraft, so you see some heads nodding. If you've heard of Roblox or Minecraft, or if you have kids that are playing it, or if you too are up in some Brookhaven, you know, on Roblox, that's one of my favorite games. You know what I'm saying? I need my house to look like Brookhaven because them joints are just beautiful. If you have been inside of Roblox or Minecraft, then you have already been inside of the metaverse. You've already been there. Your kids are already there. My son, what time is it? If he's alive and awake, then he is in Roblox right now. Already there. Okay. So that's what that is. Yes, you can get the Oculus and, you know, go into a 3D metaverse, but there are also 2D ones as well. Let me see. There's something in the chat. Let me see what we're saying. Brookhaven is my situation. You understand? I love me some Brookhaven. Yeah, and I understand you can get you a little job in Brookhaven. Yes, you can, delivering pizzas, because you know you got to pay bills inside of Brookhaven. You know what I mean? You want your house to look nice. All right. Is that a hand? I got a quick question right there. You can unmute if that's a question.
My brother's playing Roblox right now.
See? What game is he playing right now in Roblox?
It's a stickman game. We have to find sticks.
What's it called?
He just joined Brookhaven.
Oh, what? He destroyed Brookhaven. Well, you tell your brother that I need Brookhaven to still be there next week when I log on, okay? But I'm gonna try that stick game. Maybe you can put it in the chat for me. Can you put the name of the game in the chat?
It's Find the Stick Man.
Let me write it down. Wait a minute, because you're helping me out. Find the Stick Man. I might be able to do that game. Well, thank you, friend. Find the Stick Man in Roblox, right? Okay, thank you, friend. I wrote that down. I'm gonna look for that one. Yeah, but I'm a beast in Brookhaven. You can't tell me nothing. Get my little car and ride all around and everything. Indeed. So that is the metaverse. See, we got people there already. Didn't even know it. All right, next up. What in the world? Tokenomics, right? Tokenomics refers to the economic system. Now, wait. I know some of you feeling a little heebie-jeebies. Wait a minute. Don't check out on me yet. Hold on. All right. Just sit tight. It's going to be all right. Let's go through. Let's take our time. Tokenomics refers to the economic system and principles that govern the creation, distribution, and use of tokens. Within the blockchain ecosystem, it is a funding source that can be used to pay for educational materials, services, experiences, creating a more flexible, personalized learning experience. That's just one little thing that you can do with tokenomics. All right, so tokenomics. Oh, now we might be crossing the street into that little dangerous part. This might be that little, you know, that little house, that one house growing up in Philly. We had that one house. You know, it was in the middle of the block. You crossed the street so as not to walk next to that house. It was probably some big angry dog that was in the yard. And so you may hear this part about Web3 Boulevard and say, oh, see, this, that part right there, this, that part. Hang tight. It's going to be okay. All right. Now, yes. Have there been some bad actors? Absolutely. Are there bad actors in every aspect of life? You better believe it. And are there also people that are leveraging Web3, especially tokenomics, in order to create unbelievable opportunities that never would have been possible before? You better believe it. And I'm one of them. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. So now, okay, y'all, you still with me? Let me look at you in the chat. Wait a minute now. You still with me? Let me see faces. Everybody still here? All right. No, I didn't scare anybody off yet. Okay, great. Put a little thumbs up, a little heart or something if you still all right. Still okay? I see you now in your head. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, sis. All right. Yes. So now how do you think, just use your imagination, how could tokenomics be used inside over here on Unschooling Avenue? Write it down. Don't tell me yet. Okay. All right. Now I think we have, oh, that was it. See, that wasn't so bad. Oh, look, we done went through almost everybody who lives over there on Web3 Boulevard. I couldn't tell everything. I only have 90 minutes, right? So now, what's possible? Let's create a possibility together that inspires you. Let me see. Damari, can you tell me how much time I have left? Just put it in the chat or somewhere. Unmute and tell me.
We have 50 minutes.
Did you say 50 as in 50?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my, okay, well, good. We have a lot that we can create then. So now, tell me, what do you think is possible? First of all, before we go into that, any questions? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a moment so I can be with you and answer any questions. What questions do you have? And then we're gonna create something.
Can anybody create a token, an NFT, or any of these things? Is this just a completely democratic, maybe that's not the right word, but free market? Maybe that's the word.
Correct. Yes, to answer your question, anyone can create a token. Anyone can create an NFT. You obviously will need to have access to the internet. You will need to have most of Web3 activity is better accessed via a laptop or desktop. So there is that barrier to entry. But aside from that, yes. Great question. What other questions do you have?
I guess my follow-up would be, once you've created these things, how would anyone know about it? Or what would you do to share that knowledge that you did this thing? Because otherwise you're just shouting into the metaverse.
Which is a great place to shout into. So after, let's say you create an NFT, right? You create an NFT, you got it here, right, on your laptop. Now what? Well, there are marketplaces. There are NFT marketplaces where you can post your NFT. There are other marketplaces and platforms where you can share your Web3 project, be it your DAO that you're creating or a part of, be it your NFT or your token. So Web3 is, and to be honest, I found this very surprising, just how welcoming everyone is. Especially, they're doing a really good job of making sure that all parties are represented. So there's this huge push for women in Web3, huge push. And it's being very well received. And I see another question in the chat. And who determines that? Oh, now we're about to get into the nitty of the gritty. Who determines the value of something? This requires a conversation. So let's talk about it. Now I'm going to say your name right. Is am I pronouncing it correctly? Ariel?
Ariel.
Ariel. All right, Ariel, let's talk. Who does determine the value of something?
I would think both the creator and who it was created for. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, so I'm thinking about this as far as like the films that I make. Because they are digital assets, correct? I mean, I have these digital assets, they're up. I don't necessarily put them up right now on the web in its current form because I've been warned against that. right? So I don't put them up because then I've been told I will lose the value of it because the value of it can lie in the physical spaces it can be shown, or there's a lot of, there's still physical worlds, right? That I can get value from. If I put it into the metaverse, maybe it will lose value. But I know, so I'm partially creating the value, but also the demand for what I make is creating the value, correct?
So correct. There are two parts, and this is, if we take it outside of the Web3 world and just talk about value, period. If I say a thing is a thing or valued at this price, and you agree that it is valued at that price, and then you pay for it at that price, now it is that price.
Right.
Right. So now what does that look like in the world of Web3? So in Web3, the very first entrance into Web3 is creating your crypto wallet. All right, it's creating your crypto wallet. Very similar to a degree to creating your online banking profile, right? But in this case, you would use, the most common one is MetaMask. That's what I tell everyone to go to. You would go to MetaMask and you would put in the information. Now, that part was a little daunting at first. I was like, oh, why do they need my driver's license picture? Why do they need all of this other stuff to prove who I am? Well, that's why. They want to make sure you are who you say you are, and you're not here being a bad actor. And it took a couple of days. It's not something you're going to spin up in 2 seconds, right? So I had to go in, I had to create my profile, I had to take a picture of my driver's license, I had to take a selfie, and then they got all that content and they said, come back in 2 days or so, because they wanted to verify whatever to make sure that I am who I am. Then when I came back and they said, all your stuff looks great and good, here is your wallet address. It's a series of numbers and letters and dashes, right? And it's pretty long. And it's kind of like, your credit card, you identify this credit card by the last 4 digits or the last 4 digits of your checking account. Same thing with my wallet. So if I'm on a marketplace, NFT marketplace, or in a DAO or anything in Web3, and they're asking for my crypto address in order for me to receive either an NFT, or if I want to comment on a post, and this is, a Web3 friendly post, which means they have their crypto wallet there, I can attach my wallet and I can give them coin or token if I approve or like this post. So creating value inside of Web3, I love it because it is from the grassroots up. As a community, we get to say what a thing is and what it's not. Great question. It's one that the kids talk about a lot in our Genieverse. That's what we call it. We're creating the utility of our token. And guess what they said? The utility. But what do you have to do? What do you do to receive it? How do you spend it? And again, if you have kids in Roblox, or if you have taken out your credit card and bought $20 or $25 worth of Roblox, and you've already participated in tokenomics, you've already done that, because they're going to take your $25 and it turns into X number of thousands of Robux, which allows them different access points in the game or on the platform, right? So we're creating the utility for our Genie token. Hold on, make sure you're still there to make sure I didn't hit you. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So we are, just got your daughter's attention talking about Robux. Yes. So we're creating our utility for our Genies, for our Genie token. So I asked the kids, I said, well, what do you think? If you could create your own money, your own token, what would you do? So first we had a whole history about the history of money. Well, also I have this $5 bill, but who says it's $5 bills? Who says it's worth $5? Well, your government says that it's worth $5 and we all agree. So then the kid said, well, I want to receive Genies when I do things that I love. I said, okay, we'll build that in for us in the Genius community. That fits our pillar 1. When you create a good experience for yourself, something that you say you enjoy, you do well, and you're proud of. I said, all right, got that. You'll receive Genies when you do something that you love. I said, what else? And the kid said, I think we should receive genies when we invite other people to our community and they say yes. I said, oh, okay, I didn't think about that. That sounds cool. Sure. I said, what else? They said, when we learn something new. I said, all right, we can write that down. Then one kid said, wait a minute. What, can we get Robux from these genies? I said, I knew it was coming. So they are creating the utility and we're having discussions about how does your fiat, that's the money that you have in your wallet, that's your USD or wherever country you're in, your country's money. How does your fiat translate into the value recognized by this other currency, be it Robux, be it Bitcoin, be it genies or whatever. This is the discussion that we're having. All right, any other questions before we get to creating? Because we're about to create something together. Okie dokie. All right, well, let me share my screen once more. And thank you guys really for rocking with me in this conversation. I know this could be a little unique of a topic. Maybe it's something that you're like, ooh, I don't know about this one. All right, let's create something together. So, decentralization. So this is where you either put it in the chat or you unmute. When you heard decentralization, where does that fit inside of unschooling? All right, we have somebody planning no specific curriculum. Yep, that's where it could fit. It could fit in there, no specific curriculum. What else? Where else? And I'm going to, since we're creating this together, hold on, let me see, can I do that? I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna type in this document. So you're gonna see all of my stuff because we're gonna create something together. All right, no specific, oh, I can't see. So if something is misspelled on because I don't have my glasses. All right, so Jamar, can you do me a favor? Can you, if you're able, can you read the chat out loud as people are posted?
Absolutely. So Raj
All right.
said, how kids learn, no central authority. Each kid decides what they learn, when they learn, how they learn, where they learn.
Yep. Very good. No central authority. So you got the point. Decentralization, unschooling is decentralized. It is decentralized learning. It is what it is. It is synonymous, which is why whenever I'm talking to people in Web3, it takes them about 42 seconds. 42 seconds. And you see the transition on their face. They're like, okay, self-directed learning. Oh, and they're automatically bought in. Automatically. I've had people say, oh, you mean my kid can do that right now? Yep, they sure can. And this is why I'm inviting you guys here in this conversation. Okay, anybody else for decentralization? Because then after that, we're gonna move on to blockchain.
Ariel also said, I basically wrote the same thing. No one telling us what we should learn or know.
That's correct. No one is telling you what you should learn or know. No one tells, can't say us what. See, my kid broke my W key on my keyboard from gaming. So if the W's don't show up, that's why. No one tells us what we should learn or know. Perfect. That's it exactly. All right. Anyone else?
SDE centers each run themselves.
Yep. Yep. So I'll put that here. And then do you see another place where that can fit? Oh, let me put my glasses on. Let me just stop resisting.
Go with the flow.
Yes, SDE centers run themselves.
And then
Perfect.
the network of unschoolers feels decentralized.
It is. I'll say it is decentralized. That's correct. All right. What about blockchain? Okay, remember what blockchain is? Blockchain is that ledger that will document anything that you put there. And then so that's what blockchain is. It's the ledger that documents. Then you have smart contracts where you can build in the if, then that. So let's first start with blockchain. What could be a use case for blockchain? What could we document?
Ariel says what we are learning, ideas we have.
Mm-hmm.
We can use it for recording progress. And y'all can unmute and share if you like.
You sure can. This is a listen, this is a collaborative situation. We are building together.
So that one was recording progress. Challenge says to document our progress, our processes, and how we do what we do.
Yep. Progress. I also say that sounds like our program, like what we do. All right. Now, what about smart contracts? When you hear what a smart contract is, a smart contract is the if then that. What do you think we could create as unschoolers? If blank happens, if somebody does this, then that will happen. So what do you think? So complete the sentence, if blank, then blank.
If you're disrespectful, you can't be in this community, then something like that. I'm just thinking of punishing.
Okay, now let's flip that around. I see what you did right
Okay.
there, Fred. So flip that around to the positive. So
Okay.
if someone does what, then they can do what?
If you are contributing in a positive manner to this community, then you belong.
Right, then you belong, or you can have membership, right? And that contribution, your community can define what that is. In the Genius community, we talk all the time about community versus audience. I'm more interested in community members, people that are contributing, people that are sharing their experiences, people that are attending decolonized parenting workshops and leading them. Well, that is a if then that for us. If you attend our mandatory coaching sessions, I don't like to use the word mandatory. Akila Richards told me to say it. I was like, I don't know about that. But if you attend our decolonized parenting coaching sessions, then you can remain in community. Point blank, period. All right. But you get the gist, right? Anybody else have a if then that? Let me
I
create a
was
little bit.
thinking of something maybe a little too schoolish, but how diplomas and certificates are used to they've been used to market signal marketing for organizations or employers or whatever. And then that's, we don't have that in a sense, right? And so how something like that could be created.
Yep. So go back and say more about the diplomas, and you can do what with them? Tell me again.
Like a validation or
Yes.
accreditation type of
Yep.
thing.
Correct. So now you could put that on a smart contract, but that would fit better in what other category do you think? From these things that we spoke about. Oh, you're breaking up a little bit. Say it again.
The NFTs?
Yep.
What are we doing? The NFTs?
A diploma is nothing but a glorified NFT. A diploma is nothing but a glorified NFT, a high school diploma, college degree, diploma, whatever. It just simply says that it built into that piece of paper is this value, meaning you've gone to these classes, you've paid this money, right? And now let's take high school. Once you have that high school NFT diploma, that allows you now access into either a job or college or whatever else. It ain't nothing but a glorified NFT. That's it. So I'm gonna put that one over here. Diplomas. But you also mentioned like validation or accreditation. And I know there's a whole lot of, back and forth about, how we feel about that. But you're correct. For those who need it, for other institutions that are looking for something like that, then it could sit there as well. Within
within our community, or whether you put value in it or not, thinking
Yep.
about the future, that could be a system created.
Absolutely. Yep, you got it. All right, what about a DAO? what could you do with a DAO? And I'm gonna look at the chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, come on, chat. You're not gonna open up for me. All right, so a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization, an internet native. That just simply means that that is the primary place where we meet. Yes, you can meet in person and do things in person. However, online is where usually these communities meet. They have a common goal and they make decisions, if then that proposals, and they have a shared treasury, crypto treasury. How could folks who live on Unschooling Avenue utilize a DAO? What you think? All right, now let me see. Okay, there we go. To self-organize and be in community, absolutely. DAO make decisions about group experiences that support the community. For instance, let's all take this course, play this game, make this virtual thing together. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what could, now I want you to think, so yes, there is your localized community, right? Your school, your Agile Learning Center. What about if all, thank you so much, Damari. What if all of the communities were a part of the DAO? What if all of the ALCs and all of the self-directed learning communities were a part of the DAO? What could we do collectively together with a shared treasury? Rewrite down what you said. Somebody else unmute and tell me. Paid presenters like me, I ain't never gonna turn down somebody. Praise the Lord. I have 6 kids to feed. Yes, we could. Oh, now we getting into the nitty gritty. Yes. Okay, let's see. Let me see if I can jot this down. We could self-organize. My glasses aren't working. Organize. We could lobby. Ooh, lobby for what? Say more about that. Put that in the chat. Yup, lobby for rights. Exactly. Ooh, that one I'm really excited about because, you know, when I hear lobby for rights, I hear power in numbers. I hear when all of us show up as one collective unit saying this is what we're voting for, then that has even more sway, right? Yep, make financial contributions. Ooh, Lord help me. Financial contributions. Yep, absolutely. Collaborate to support folks, making sure basic needs are met and even funding specific dreams and projects. You said it. That is it exactly. That's it exactly. Let me see if I can I copy that? Let me see, can I copy that? Let me try and copy that. Why didn't I do that before? Work smart, girl, not hard. All right, here we go. Let's see, can we do that? Let's see what happens. Ooh, look at me, there we go. All right, absolutely, that's what we can do, okay? And that is what's happening. All right, more on that in a minute. So keep writing down your ideas. Keep writing down your ideas. What do you see as possible? Okay, now let's go to the next one. NFTs, metaverse, and tokenomics. Let's create use cases for these. So we already talked about NFTs. And I want you to think, again, anything that is digitized can be an NFT. Okay, so let me move that up. Let me see, can I move the chat box over? Wonderful. All right, let me make that dim like that. Okay, great. All right, what else do you think we can use NFTs for? And let me give you an idea. So we could use NFTs, yes, as a diploma. We could use NFTs as validation. Oh my goodness, now you're onto it. Now you're doing it. Learning resources and publishing. I'm going to write down publishing because that book that I'm releasing a Web 2 version of it, which is basically just a traditional book, but I'm also releasing an NFT version of that book, which will really speak to the Web 3 community. Absolutely. Online courses that others can participate. Yep, that's right. Learning resources. Absolutely. The other thing we can use NFTs for is this. Kind of like badges to show the community, I've attended these workshops, I've done the work, I've participated in this workshop about conflict resolution. I've attended this conference right here, right? Because then that shows other people who you are in the world. So when you show up and we see all of your NFTs and we know what they mean, it's like, oh, okay, then I know who's here, right? I know who's showing up here because I know that they're active in social justice because look, they got that social justice NFT from that thing that they went to, right? Let's see what else. Is crowdfunding for films related to the idea of NFTs? Yes, absolutely. Yep, it sure is. And then more so when we get to tokenomics. All right, NFTs can go so many ways, so many fun things you can do with an NFT. So many fun things. All right, what about the metaverse? Keep your ideas flowing. What about the metaverse? What can we do together in a metaverse? Again, your kids are already, some kids are in that metaverse right now. Roblox. I'm going to miss some of the good stuff because I have to step away now. Oh, well, thank you so much for your contribution. And please, yes, if you have any more ideas, shoot me an email. I would love to capture them. So for the sake of time, for the metaverse, of course, we can learn in the metaverse. We can play together in the metaverse. Community can happen in the metaverse. International gatherings like this, you better believe it. I already sent Bria an email. I said, girl, this is great. And we can even do this in the metaverse. We've created one. You can walk all through. It has 50,011 rooms. The way it works is when your camera is on and your mic is on, and when you walk next to someone, you can see and hear them. When I say walk, I mean your avatar, right? You can see and hear them. We have little scooters. You can zip all around. We have a little water slide. The kids are going up and sliding down the water slide. They have concerts in our metaverse. We have cooking corporations. So we have a kitchen in our metaverse. This is hilarious, right? And in the kitchen are the recipes posted. You can click on the recipe. You can see the recipe. Everyone is in their real life. We call that IRL. In their real kitchens, and we're cooking together. We're showcasing our pets together. We had a whole stuffed animal tea party, all of that in our metaverse, right? My job has an office in the metaverse. Yep. It's really cool. It's really fun. It allows you to move around, even though you might be physically sedentary, but you get to move around. All right, now tokenomics. What do you think we can do with some tokenomics? Now this is, and what tokenomics is, let's go back up here and read it. Now this part, maybe some people got a little scared. It refers to the economic system and principles that govern the creation, distribution, and use of tokens. So let's just stop right there. You create a token, you're basically creating your own money. Just like they did when they made Robux. They made that up, okay? You get to make it up too. Yep, you can fund, Ariel, you're trying to take my job. You can fund whatever you can imagine. You better say it. Fund whatever you can imagine. Anybody need some funding for their Agile Learning Centers? Anybody need to pay a mortgage, pay rent, utilities? Anybody would love to give your facilitators a trip to a wellness retreat where they get to unplug and practice meditation and healing? Anyone have kids that could really use some additional services that might be outside of the scope of what you can provide? Imagine. We have 2 schools in Kampala, Uganda. For them, the funding that we're creating for them is transformational, okay? So, yep, you can fund whatever you can imagine. Absolutely. I'll leave this with you when it comes to tokenomics. Google Constitution DAO. Constitution DAO. There was a group of people who heard that a version of the Constitution was up for public auction at Sotheby's. And they said, I wonder if we could raise some crypto to go and get that version, that copy of the Constitution. They heard about it 1 week before the auction. Do you know what they were able to do? They were able to raise $40 million in 1 week. Why? Because they had a common goal. Their decisions were documented on blockchain and they had a shared crypto treasury. Now, funny thing, when you go into it, because I forgot to mention, transparency is something that is huge in Web3, right? Because on the blockchain, everybody can see what everyone has either voted to do or spent money to do. Funny thing happens when you go into an auction. That's the one place that you don't want to be transparent. The only place where transparency can hurt you, right? Because everyone knew, we know exactly how much money you have. $41.1 million and 23 cents. So when I'm bidding, guess what I have to do? I bid $43.1 million and 27 cents, because I know you don't have that extra 3 cents. So they lost the bid and they returned the money to everyone who wanted their money back. They got their money back, but they set a precedent. They set a precedent. And I believe that if they could do it, so can I, right? If they did it before, they could do it again. And so I'm here to do that. So as I come to a close, you guys have been a lot of fun. Thanks for allowing me to be super, super silly. That's when I'm my most authentic self. All right, so let me share my screen again. And thank you for what you created. Damari, how much time I have there, ma'am?
20 minutes.
All right, we're gonna rock and roll it. Okay. So what you created the use cases for these things. Now let me tell you, I asked Chitty Chitty Chat again, and this is what they said. I specifically went into Chat GPT and I asked, how could a DAO benefit an unschooling community? And this is what Chat said. Chat GPT said a DAO could provide a decentralized and autonomous governance structure for unschooling communities. This would allow unschoolers to have a greater say in how their learning communities are run and to make decisions collectively rather than relying on centralized authorities. Now, we already are doing this. You are already doing this in your communities, right? So that's nothing new. Chat, what else you got? Got something else? Chitty Chitty Chat also said a DAO could enable unschoolers to earn and exchange digital tokens as a means of incentivizing participation and rewarding contributions to the community. And let me stop right here. I am not in the business of you do some schoolish thing called math and you get some token. School already has their version of tokenomics. It's called A, B, C, D, and F. It's called a credit. I'm not interested in that. What we are interested in specifically is the utility that the children have built into their token. When I get to discover who I am and I do something that I absolutely love, when I serve someone else and I get to bring value to my community, sure, you can give me some token for that I get to use in this ecosystem, right? I could pay my facilitator, right? I could pay for my tuition. Overall, a DAO could provide a decentralized and autonomous infrastructure for unschooling communities, enabling individuals to take control of their own learning and education and fostering a more collaborative and participatory approach to learning. Like I said, the reason why I love this is because we are already doing this. Those of us who run Agile Learning Centers, those of us who are running a democratic school, we're already doing this. Your children are already voting on what it is that they want to do. And some communities, they're already deciding the budget, right? This is just another means, another way of doing that. So what else? What did Chat say about tokenomics, specifically to unschooling? Well, Chat said you can access the platform. Users would need to hold a certain amount of SDL, that's the name that they gave, self-directed learning tokens. Chat made that up. To access the platform and participate in the micro schools. Payment for services. Users will be able to pay for educational materials, services, and experiences, rewards and incentives, and then governance. Token holders will be able to participate in the governance of the DAO, such as proposing and voting on changes to the DAO and its policies. This one I'm really excited about. We are about to do a fundraise because I envision a place where kids can come to a self-directed learning community for free, and a way that facilitators and directors can be fully compensated and earn a respectable living wage. It doesn't work when either party, parents are frustrated in paying tuition, or facilitators, directors are scraping to get by. That doesn't work. And so what if a funding tokenomics campaign can be created that allows parents who need support financially, it's taken care of, and everyone working in these communities can have what they need. All right, blockchain. So the Genie app, y'all may have heard me talk about it before. We're going to talk about it a little bit right now. So how can blockchain be used inside of Unschooling Avenue? Blockchain technology can be used to create decentralized learning portfolios that enable individuals to track and showcase their learning achievements over time. Everything that you guys said in your use cases. The portfolios can range in evidence of learning, completed projects, academic transcripts for high schoolers, and so on. And it can also be an immutable record, right? So I know, for instance, when I was enrolling my kids in dual enrollment in community college, one of the community colleges said, "Mom, we don't believe you. We understand you put this on the transcript, but you could have just said whatever. We don't believe you." Now, I'm not going to get into how I felt about that. I probably used some really spicy words that I won't say today because you might have some young ears listening. But yeah, that made me angry, right? However, might they listen to this other third party called blockchain? So what are we doing? Thanks to a very wonderful grant from Vela, we were able to complete and upgrade our Genie app, which documents unschoolers. It documents and translates, right? We are in the process of completing our utility for our token. The kids are creating that. I'm going to get a cute little plug-in so that whenever they document something that they love or do well, according to them, then they can receive however many genies that the kids make up. Then we're looking at adding some AI to the app. And here's why. My son is 17 and we live down here in Atlanta, and he registered for a local community college simply because I did not know the proper course title to put on his transcript. He was denied access into that community college. So you also use some more lovely, fun words to describe that experience, but I won't go into that right now. However, this is the difference that AI would have made. We would have been able to live and stay in freedom. My son would have been able to live his best self-directed learning, unschooling life. He is a coder, he is a gamer, he is a skateboarder, right? He does 3D printing and he codes bots and skates all over Atlanta. Would have been able to use Genie and document everything that he's doing, right? And then the AI in the app would have translated that into language that would have included the Board of Regents proper school title, because I had no idea that that even existed, right? But when I tell AI to go get that for me, then it would have put on the transcript. The lady would have said, "Oh, 3D printing and coding, oh, that fits over here. And yes, you can come to our community college." Okay, so that's where that could have been used. All right, so yep, and then NFTs. So this NFT right here is an NFT that we made in the Genie DAO. It is for our igniters, for people such as yourself who are doing the work. You are forward facing to the community. You are either a speaker, a blogger, a community founder. You are there with the kids as either a facilitator of some sort. And we would love to gift you with an igniter NFT, which simply means we want to love on you because you are the ones that ignite and keep the fire of learning and living in freedom and decolonized parenting alive. So NFTs, again, can be used to distinguish members of the community. So in the Genie DAO, we have the founders, we have our igniters, we have our disruptors, people who are in Web3 who want to come and support self-directed education. We have our directors, we have our Genii, those are the learners, and then we have the greater community. So when I show up with my NFTs, and if you know a little bit about our community, you'll be able to say, "Oh, she's a founder, she's an igniter, she's a director, she's a blah, blah, blah." And you already knew who I am because my NFT said so. All right, the Genie DAO is a street light illuminating possibilities and a bridge connecting Web3 Boulevard and Unschooling Avenue. At first, I was going to say we're a bridge, but you can't be a bridge if both parties don't know that they exist. Right? So first we have to be a light. So I've been hosting Meet Me at the Corner, right? Which is a conversation that I host on Twitter to let Web3 know, whoa, before y'all go and create something, you know what I'm saying? We're already here. So this is who we are. We are the first DAO created by unschoolers and for unschoolers and people who believe and practice decolonizing parenting and deschooling. We're launching the NFT collection. We are adding AI, and we're on-chaining the Genie app. Genie app is right now in beta. So if you could benefit from something like that for your communities, we would love for you to use it. Tell us how to make it better. We're creating a token economy to fully fund all micro self-directed learning communities who are a part of the Genie DAO. We are self-directed learning in the metaverse. We started off meeting on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but then these kids voted to add another day. So now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then they voted again. Now it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm like, look, guys, it's only 7 days a week. Okay. We can't live in the metaverse together. You do need to, go eat and brush your teeth and go outside. And we're creating a sub DAO with our genius communities. That's really fun. Our main intent is to increase awareness, accessibility, and diversity. I got that, raising readers. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. And then this is our motto, FAFO. And you can, if you don't know what that means, that simply means that we F around and we find out because we're in the world of play. So this is what we're doing. This is our main goal, to fund your communities. I'm gonna say that again, to fund your communities. That's what we're here to do. So here's also why this is important for me, okay? Web3 folk, they're looking for Ed3. And unless we show them, don't call it a comeback, we've been here for years, we already have been here, right? They will create what already exists. They will pull a Christopher Columbus on y'all, on us. And I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to let that happen on my watch, all right? So let's show them that we are already here, all right? So will you meet me at the corner? Now, we've crossed the street. Some of y'all may have run back to Unschooling Avenue like, whoo, that Web3 Boulevard is scary over there. It's a little scary. But if you are curious about how you can join us, then let me show you how. Take out your phone, scan that QR code. That QR code will take you to our Google form where we simply want to capture what do you already know about unschooling. Y'all are going to check 5s, right? Most of y'all, because you're there, you live on Unschooling Avenue. But then what do you know about Web3? And if you like NFT, what? I don't know what that is. Check a 1, check a 2, all right? Because we are here to serve. Can we get a web link in chat? Yes, you can. Yep. So I will post that. Give me just a second to get that together. I meant to do that. Yes, you can get that in the chat. So matter of fact, do you have any questions while I'm getting that link? Do you guys have any questions or comments? I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second so that I can go over and get that link. Y'all don't need to see all my situation. All right. All right. I
love what you're doing, and I love how you explained it. Thank you so much, because I've heard of a lot of these things and struggled to understand them. But what I still struggle with is this. I get the transparency piece of crypto, but I also struggle to understand, because regular currency is still necessary to fund crypto. I just don't. My mind struggles to make the leap. I mean, I've obviously bought Robux for my daughter. I've things like that. But I've also struggled with like, wait, are you serious? You want to spend $100 on what? Like, right? She regrets it. Actually, she did this one time and was like, oh gosh, why did I do that? But can you help me understand this part of it? If you maybe.
Hold on. Okay. I just put the form in the chat. Yes, ma'am, I got you. So let me see if I can summarize your question. All right. So we still need fiat. Right? I still need my 1s, my 5s, my 10s, my 20s, my $100 bills. I still need that. And so it's like, why would I take my money and why would I put it into this crypto thing if we still need money?
Yes, that's the basic question. And I will say, I live in a country where there's 99% inflation, because I do not live in the United States. Okay, so I live in Argentina. Okay. And they're struggling economically. So dollars are the currency here, US dollars, even though it's not the local currency. That's what people use. The marketplace is set in US dollars. And I get that crypto plays a role here too because of that. But I want to understand, like, is crypto the future because it democratizes, it takes away, it decentralizes power from governments too?
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right. So that is the hope of crypto. And again, I will not ignore the bad actors, right? Because I'm not here to sell you a bill of goods and you're like, wait a minute, this thing, no. There have been bad actors, people who have said, like me, I'm saying now that I want to fund your learning communities through crypto. We got Web 2 and traditional means of funding, but I also want to use this other thing too. So there have been people that said they wanted to do something, but then never followed through or didn't have a real thing to put that money towards. But you bring up a great question. Why? Why would I do that? My $20 bill is I know my $20 bill. I know what this is. Why would I put it in this? Well, I would do that for a couple of different reasons. One, it has the opportunity to increase in value. Now, we don't have time to go too deep into that because I think I only have about 7 minutes left. But you have things that's called a stable coin, right? So if there's any Web3 experts on here, I'm going to prove my, I know what I'm talking about just a little bit. So you have this thing called a stable coin. A stable coin is something that is more closely pegged to, let's say, the US dollar, right? Then you have these other types of tokens that cryptocurrencies that have the possibility to increase in value because of community activity. For me, what excites me the most about crypto is a couple of reasons. One, none of us were alive when the people decided that this $20 bill was going to be worth $20 bill. No, none of us were here to see that process. We're not going to go into when the US dollar came off the gold standard. We're not going to go into that. That would be a beautiful history lesson to dive into down that rabbit hole if you're curious about that. But none of us were here when we went from trading, rabbit pellets to then gold to then this paper money to then this paper money is only the value that we say it is because we say it is. Most of us weren't alive. What I love about this particular time, space, reality that we're all living in now is that we do get to see it. And not only see it, we get to participate in it, we get to create it. And what I love about our kids are already doing it. So when I talk to them about it, they're like, okay, so well, this ain't a big deal. you know Roblox, right, Mom? Okay, it's the same thing. So I love it because it has the chance to increase in value. I love it because we get to make it, right? If we're willing to. What else? Great conversation. Thank you. This has been an incredible space of learning and mind opening for me. May you have any recommendations for a next place to continue learning and imagining? Absolutely. So you can fill out that form and we can imagine an FAFO every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's where the DAO meets. I also host a Twitter space. Follow the Genii is GENII, which just simply is genius plural. We could say geniuses, but that ain't no fun. So we say Genii. So you can follow us on Twitter. I would love for you to join us on a Twitter space. First, we have to educate. So this is what I'm here to do, but I only have one voice. And the more voices we have, the more powerful our message will be. So you can join me there. Yeah, but seriously, the reason why I'm doing this is because I refuse, and I mean I refuse, to have the Web3 folks create what we're already doing and have been doing. I started having this conversation back in 2016. Back then, I would say blockchain. People would be like, block what? What are you talking about? 1 in 50 people would understand what I was saying. Now it's more like 1 in 5. They've at least heard about it. So we're getting closer. So it's free to join the Genii DAO. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to create a crypto wallet. You don't have to show an NFT. We will show you how to do all of that. But what we want is to onboard every unschooler, every founder of an SDE or Agile Learning community, and say to Web3, we are here. Let us show you. If y'all living in decentralization, but you're not offering it to your kids, then what are you doing? So why don't you come on over here, right? Y'all cross the street, okay? Web3, come on over here to Unschooling Avenue, and we'll show you how it's done. All right, question. Is your youth community open for unschooled? Yes, come on. Yes, come on up in the Geniverse. We have so much fun. Yes, it is. And our in-person communities are forming as well. So, yep, you can. And the app, I would love for you guys to use the app because I need the feedback, especially for those of you who live in states. I have 2 minutes. For those of you who live in states where, depending on what, how your structure is, if you have homeschoolers that have to meet with an evaluator, I really want to see how that process will work. And although I created it, I can't see it. Can you get the app in the App Store? We ain't quite there yet, friend. Okay, you can get it for free right here. Let me get the link. Hold on. Can we get it in the App Store? Almost.
Coming. It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, so the best way for me to give you the app, 1 second, I'm going to give you the link to our Genii community on Mighty Networks. Again, it is free, but this is where you fill out that form, and then I'll send you the link for the app. 1 second. Oh, come on, ma'am. Get your stuff together here. Where is it at? Oh, here it goes. So I'm really, really curious for those of you who lead communities. You can onboard your whole community if you like, whatever, would make sense for you guys. You're welcome to do that. We also offer white labeling, right? Like if you're like, we want, to have our name on this situation, you can do that too. All right, so I just put that link in the chat. But yeah, any other questions? So we have maybe a minute left. So listen, I want to thank you. You could have been anywhere in the world. You could have been at any one of the other sessions. So truly, thank you for coming and hanging out with this crazy girl from Philly. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. I hope you realized that it wasn't so scary over there on Web3 Boulevard. You're welcome. And above all else, I want y'all to pack. I'm trying not to cuss because I cuss. That's what I do. I want y'all to pack this joint out. Okay, if y'all don't know, Damari, be quiet. Join is a Philly word, so it ain't cussing, it's a Philly word, okay? Join is a noun that means anything. I want y'all to join this join, right? Oh, thank you so much. I don't want to mess up your name, so that's why I'm thank you, Fred, I see you there. So yeah, come on and join us so we can show Web3 what's up, all right? So we can show them how it's done.
Thank you so much, Karima. And I've sat in this space with you many times, and every time I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer to understanding. I'm like, oh, okay, I think maybe. So I will continue to be here over and over and over again. And one day it's going to click. It hasn't all clicked yet, but one day it's going to click for me. So thank you for continuing to share and for making sure that there is this connection between Web3 and unschooling, and that we all have this information. The links that were shared, I'll make sure that those get posted into the resource guide. And again, if there's anything else that you want to share that might be helpful for the community, just email it to me and I will add that as well.
Perfect. Y'all go love on your babies, go love on each other, and go be your best self-expressed selves. Have an amazing rest of the day.